Live, just checking. If we are live, it is Friday night. It's part two. Part two, getting us on twice. And everything's set up. So, who is all on? There are a few for Con Stewart. Says, hey, boys, troops just got back from Spain to the cold and wet in Glasgow. Lobaz, from West Belfast. Hail, hail. Spacey says, hail, hail, boys and girls. Right, how many folk? But it is what it is. So some people are calling just now. Right, team predictions. What are your team predictions for the game tomorrow? Predicted lineups can always be something, but I think Brendan Rodgers has to go with his strongest team, so he's obviously going to go with Joe Hart at the back. Personally, I think he's going to go with Taylor, Scales, Carter Vickers, and Alistair Johnston. Although I think he should drop Hatate, I don't think he will. I think he'll still keep Hatate on the bench. He's obviously going to go with what he thinks is his strongest team, and Hatate comes into that, which I think is quite unfortunate because I think that Paulo Bernardo should be given a chance. I mean, Hatate seems to be fully fit after his calf strain, but he is yet to complete 90 minutes. He is yet to complete 90 minutes. Paul Bergkamp, Max in the house, and Kaiser is in the house also. I might have to share this onto Twitter to try and get some more folk on. But yeah, I think, although I don't think he should play, Rio Hatate will play, and then there'll be McGregor in midfield. I'm going to go that I think he's going to go with Palmer rather than Yang. I think Palmer, that's 2 weeks in a row that Palmer scored, although his last one was chopped off just offside. I think he'll go with Palmer and Dyson on the wing, and then O'Reilly and Kyogo. So tell me what you think about that. I think that's pretty spot on for what their strongest team is just now. Whether it's right or wrong, I mean, we had the poll earlier, which was 60% said that Rio Hatate should be dropped. But when you look at it, our best players against Kilmarnock, I mean, should James Forrest get a run out rather than Yang or Palmer? Would you play James Forrest first? Would you play James Forrest before Palmer? That's an interesting one because it's a game that we really need to win. There's a bit of a revenge mission for us. Something today. He's got his team up first. Joe Hart, Johnson, Carter Vickers, Scales, Taylor, O'Reilly, Calmack, Rio, Maida, Bernardo, and Kyogo. That's interesting. So you'd put Bernard, Paolo on the wing. Would you put Bernardo on the wing? Not really a winger. He's more a central. He's a central midfield, attacking midfield player. So who are you going to put on the wing something today? Because with that lineup you've got three attacking midfielders. You've got O'Reilly, you've got Maida, and you've got Paulo Bernardo. They're all three central midfield players, and then Calmack just sitting behind them. So you're a winger down. Understand the team that you're trying to go with, but I think Paulo, that's not his position. His position is either centre midfield or like more in the O'Reilly position just behind Kyogo. But yes, I would actually drop drop Rio and play Paulo personally. That's just my own personal opinion. Palmer for me out wide all day long says Michael. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with as well. Kaiser says Cal needs rested in the league so he can be at his peak in Europe. Interesting one. Do you not think Kaiser that's everything ticks through Calmack? And it's a game tomorrow where we're going to have a team that are going to have their back against the wall, and you're going to need someone like Calmack to sort of tell players on what positions to make runs into. There's no one else in the team that can really do that, apart from Joe Hart, and he's too far back in the pitch. I think that Calmack is playing deeper than what he normally does. And definitely think it's a little bit of change from what we're used to with Calmack, because we're all used to Calmack going further forward. But when you've got the likes of Rio Hatate and you've got Matt O'Reilly in the team, those are players that I can see Callum McGregor now playing in that role similar to Paul Lambert played in, similar to Neil Lennon played in, similar to what Scott Brown played in to the end of his career. And it gives them that longevity, and it'll make Callum McGregor a better player. You know, playing that holding midfield role, dominating and telling the players he can read the game really well. I think Brendan Rodgers is trying to turn Callum McGregor into that type of player where he has more control of the game. And people see that when they look at it, people see it as he's not doing anything. It's not the same Callum McGregor we had years ago that running forward and making, and scoring goals and that. But it's called One Celtic Fans View for a reason. That's why we all have our view on the channel. Helen says, good evening. James Bentley says, Hart, Taylor, Cameron, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Johnson, Calmack, Palmer, Maida, O'Reilly, Bernardo, and Kyogo. You're all playing Bernardo. You're playing Bernardo on the wing. Paulo Bernardo is a central midfield player. He's not going to play in the wing. Would you see Dyson and Kyogo a forward two, and Palmer, Yang, O'Reilly, and Bernardo? Now you're talking. Now you're talking. Your ma. Now I'm going to put that one up actually because now you're talking. That's sort now you're talking. That's a team I would love to see Celtic playing. A formation. That's a formation that would do. That's a formation that would do some amount of damage. Definitely, that's a formation that would do some amount of damage. Whether we play with two up front, where's the wee dog? She's down there. Jenny, was it? She's down here. She's not running about. I've moved the camera so you can't see her as much. Callum McGregor is no Scott Brown. Big mistake. He's no Scott Brown, but Scott Brown wasn't Scott Brown when I've been over this before. When Brendan Rodgers came in the first time, everyone said that Scott Brown's legs was done. Scott Brown was done. His legs were done. He was gone. He was a box-to-box midfield player, a bit like Callum McGregor. He would run. He would come back and defend, and then he would be an attacking midfield player. Everyone said that he was done. Brendan Rodgers changed his game a bit. He wanted them to read the game. Callum McGregor's still young enough to turn into that Scott Brown type player, if you ask me. And it's just that's what we've all got our own views. Don't underestimate Kilmarnock. Says Dan. No, definitely, and I'm not going to underestimate them. They're going to sit back and then they're going to try and hit us on the break. Postal Colwood deployed him as a. See, where did that go? Postecoglou deployed him as a deep line playmaker. That suited Kilmarnock to a T. He did that. And I think it's kind of similar to the position he's playing just now. Just he's sitting a little bit further back. We never had an on-form Matt O'Reilly like we watch just now, and we've never had the options like Paulo Bernardo. So there's that. Two totally different types of player, Baz. Similar, but I know what you're saying. Paul Baird, Calmack tomorrow for 80 minutes and then take him off. Take him off and then bring Paulo Bernardo on. That's an interesting one because Paulo Bernardo can play in Calmack's position also. He can play in that central midfield play and he can play further forward in the midfield. Who really cares? Says, I'm going to start showing some of the teams. He says Hart, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, Calmack, O'Reilly, Bernardo, Palmer, Kyogo, Dyson. That's my team. Who have you left out in the midfield? That's a good one. Well, Troops Wednesday showed me that we're back in real quality. And by the way, I've got the subscriber thing switched off this evening, so anyone can comment on the channel if you aren't a subscriber. Well, Troops Wednesday showed me, and I'll just get rid. Where is it? James says, Hell Troops Wednesday showed me that we lack real quality. So the board should have bought at least 10 to 15 million pound players for the Champions League and not project players. Interesting one, James. I'm going to play devil's advocate here. I totally agree with what you're saying, but would two players worth 10 to 15 million made that much of a difference to that game? When you look at a 10 to 15 million pound player, you'd be looking at. Is there anyone at Celtic that's 10 to 15 million? Rio Hatate's meant to be worth that. Kyogo's meant to be worth that. Are we going to go out and spend that type of money just to bring in somebody that's at the level that we're already at? I don't think so. You've then got the wages on top of it, and this is by no means defending the board or anything like that, but I'm just being realistic. When you bring in a 10 to 15 million pound player, you're looking at 50 to 60 to 70 grand a week in wages, and Celtic aren't paying that. When we look at the economics, the way that the club is run, is there anyone out there that we could buy for 10 to 15 million that we're going to get for 50 grand a week? Because that's the sort of wage bracket that we're looking at now. If we can get someone, can we get someone really for 50 grand a week that's going to come in and for that kind of money and improve the team and go right into the first team? You know, come in and be a Palio Di Canio, come in and be a John Hartson, come in and be Scott Brown at the top of his game. There's not many players round about, especially down in England, for that kind of money. So next up is Kaiser. Kaiser says Hart, Taylor, Scale, Cameron Vickers, Alistair Johnson, Awata. Ooh, that's an interesting one. Awata. He's obviously dropping the captain out. Bernardo, O'Reilly, Maida, Palmer, and Kyogo. I would agree with you for the 60-minute mark onwards for that. I'm going to tell you why. Because I think it's a game that we must win, and we can't underestimate how good that they are going to be at defensive and sitting back. Um, sitting back. Paul, play Kilmarnock tomorrow for 80 minutes and then take them off. Yep. I think so as well. I think so. Here the Zombies are on a sports bar next year. It's a spin. There's some news broke about it. I'm going to do some Celtic news in a minute. Kilmarnock needs a break. Hatate needs off the now, says your ma. Spacey says, is Hart not suspension? I think it was only a one-game suspension, was it not? Think I'm not too sure. I think it might have just been a one-game suspension. Um, Calmac is the new Peter Pointer. Calmac's the come on, that's doing him an injustice. Peter Grant was ranked. Peter Grant was absolutely rank in the midfield. Remember Peter Grant's testimonial? He done a Dyson Midas shot and like he had the open goal and he still missed it at his own testimonial. Come on, Peter Grant was hats off to Peter Grant. He was at Celtic at a really troubled time, but well, he's not. He's not. What was the final result for the poll? John, I completely forgot about it when we got to the end. It was 61% for drop Rio Hatate, and well, there you go. That was, but there wasn't a lot of people online. Real, it's okay doing that type of thing if there's maybe 300 or 400 people online, but it's a Friday night. People are out on the swally. Play Calmark says Paul Baird and Rollins. Mark Johnson, Colin Garver, Scales, Taylor, O'Reilly, Calmack, and Bernardo, Maida, Gillian, Palmer. Interesting. Who are you putting on the wings? You've got Palmer on the wing. Who are you putting on the other wing? A lot of people are getting mixed up with putting. They want to play Bernardo, but putting him in the place of Yang or putting him out in the wing, which is, he doesn't play there. Joe was suspended last week. I really like the point of fun. Which other pulling strings needs to be explored. It does, Kaiser. It does. It needs to be. We need to see if he's got it in him to be that top level player. Do you know? It comes from Benfica with an option to buy. If he's half as good as Jota in terms of ability, we should be on to some player. Funny feeling it will be 5-0 tomorrow. Whoa, that's a big scoreline. I'll give you a score prediction in a couple of minutes or so. Martin says the board could buy a couple of players worth the money with a good return for Eddie and Jota. We've done it. Yeah, we have, but we've never really went on and left the car lights on. Imagine that. Brown Warrior, it's the captain's job to point and shout, Michael. Street shitter. Yes, you need to spend money. But remember, 2.5 million for a win in the Champions League. That's true. Even though that we're going to get 30 million for just attending, it would be good to get that 2.5 I mean, even getting, what is it, 500 grand for a draw or something, just it's all money that we could do with. But they were sitting 72 million in the bank. Somebody says, I'd rather like to see Alistair Johnson push further up the park to bully Kelly. We're lacking physicality, just to be rogue. Someone to pick. We need someone, yep. Awata couldn't want Awata this fellas. Stuart says, evening, Baz. I'm not in the car park tonight. That's good. That's flashing your lights in the car park. Yeah, it's usually shopping, isn't it? It's that old chestnut. Right, Kaiser says, in my opinion, Celtic are rising to the boil, will go unbeaten in the league and get max points from the last 4 games in the Champions League. Oh my God. Oh, Kaiser must be on it. He must be on it if he reckons that we're going to get maximum points from the last 4 games in the Champions League. John Hartson, where is he? But John Hartson reckons that Celtic are playing for third in the Champions League. Well, we need to start winning something soon. Money is irrelevant. Tramasol smashed Sevco with 18 million club. Yeah, talking about Sevco, um, according to Belgium reports, Philippe Clement flew into Glasgow for talk over the vacant Rangers job. The Sevco is meant to be named along other prime candidates. Philippe Clement. Oh, there you go. That's all I'm going to say. Felipe Clement. There'll be some banter songs going about that. Says no, it's easy. Oh, come on. That's nonsense. I'm not even going to read that. I'm not even going to read it. Anyway, let's get back to the team predictions. Will James Forrest start before Yang and Palmer? That's the one thing that I've got. James Forrest has been on the bench in the league. He did get a run out until Joe Hart got sent off. He got a run out until Joe Hart got sent off, and then he got racked back off the pitch. Is it time to get him back on for the likes of Kilmarnock? Starting to enjoy Super Snideboard. Good show, Baz, and good community. Thanks for that, Martin. How did it go on Super Snideboard? Did you have a good laugh? Straight red, no 2 games. I'm not sure. I'm not too sure about that. If it was 1 or 2 games. Play Bernardo in place of Tati. Yes, said Kaiser. Definitely, that's what I think. That's what I think. Bob the Minecrafter, welcome to the channel, Bob. I think we have enough skilled players to build around. I'd love to see more development of the B team. Poach a few more players from Far East in the winter window. We could have enough to dominate the SPL. Do we really need more players from the Far East? Because let's face it, there's 1 or 2 that's came in from the Far East that haven't really made it. There's one that's went back out on loan to Japan. So we need to get him off the books first before we start bringing in more players. I think if we want to bring players in, we need to be bringing players in that's maybe played in the Champions League at any level whatsoever. And because bringing players in from that side of the world, I think that's maybe what's causing us a bit of problem in the Champions League. They're just not European football savvy enough. It's just, excuse me, an own personal point of view. I think we need to bring players in that are ready for Europe. Ready for Europe. Palma and Forrest on each wing, says John. Good shout out for Bernardo boys. Yep. Doogie's up with Celtic 1-0. Play 80 minutes at Calmac and then until Clark is injured. And out the Scotland squad. Oh, fuck, that's beer time, bugger it. Right. James says, here my team for tomorrow. Hart, Johnson, Carter, Vickers, Scales, Taylor, Calmac, Bernardo, Hatate, Maida, Keoghan, and Palmer. So you would drop Matt O'Reilly, James. So you drop Matt O'Reilly, even though Matt O'Reilly's been on a bit of form, and and so you drop Bernardo, you bring in Bernardo for Matt O'Reilly. That's an interesting one. I think Matt O'Reilly's got more to offer just now. I think he's got more. His assists also. His assists. He's got more assists than what Rio Hatate does. So for me, I would drop. It's just my own personal. I would drop Rio Hatate and bring Bernardo in to see what he's got. Listen, bring Hatate on in the 65th minute. Still want to see Marco Tillo as an option. Where is he? Well, Kaiser, he was in training. He was in training, and Celtic put a picture of them today in training. Speculate to accumulate, Martin says. That's what Celtic do. They speculate on 2.5 million players and hoping that we can sell them on for 10. And as it goes just now, we should be sitting with about 100 million in the bank in about 2 years. Going on the model that Celtic have, a financial model, if we were to start selling players, even for 5 or 6 million, it's all profit, and there's not a lot of selling fees with these Asian players. With lots of it. Matt Haley says, I would play anyone, but but the Dud Yang, you wouldn't get a game in my book ever, says Matt. Smell the Glove says it's going to be lashing down tomorrow. Going to be lashing down. Oh, I hate Celtic Park when it's raining. Brendan said Taylor was back last month. What's going on with him? Says Helen. That's an interesting one. Well, we said that he would be back in the beginning of October. It's now the beginning. Well, it's the beginning of October. He's back. He's training. There was a picture of him at Celtic training today. So it'll be interesting when he gets a run in the team. And let's see if he's as good as what people say he is. And if he's not as good, well, he's going to have people on his back. He's going to have people on his. And I feel unfortunate for the guy because I mean Celtic signed him when he was injured, and he's really going to have to come on and be some player, some player. Anyway, Spacey said 4-0 Celtic. Uh, Stuart the only dog in that ever done. The fact that you even knew, the fact that I even knew what I was talking about, no idea. On it like a car bonnet and swimwear. Hopefully, Kyogo gets a few goals tomorrow. Lucky to get a point now. Hazel says, yes, I would love to see Tillo given a chance. Tillo, Marco Tillo. Martin says, we're going to absolutely take off form a lot when we need to get in the next season's Champions League. We're going to win the league anyway. Let's face it. The Sevco are that far behind us. And look, if they're on about bringing in a manager, I mean, Felipe Clement, really? Is that as good as they're going to bring in? You know that they're going to go through another manager. There's only 2 more Rangers managers till Christmas. Let's face it. There's only 2 more Rangers managers till Christmas, and we've got one in part time just now. John says, "What's your thoughts on the 576 tickets at Swinecastle?" Well, I spoke about it earlier on the live earlier, John. I did show you. There's a picture up there with me and Tony Stokes. Tony Stokes scored a cracker at Swine Castle, and there's me and him. I went like that to Tony Stokes, and he did it back to me, right at the front of the stand, and it was in the Celtic View. It was in the Celtic View. I think it's absolutely disgusting. I think they're ruining the game. They're going down the same road as Sevco, as they're promoting the fact that they're trying to look after their own fans as a TV spectacle. Although it's got total nonsense. The fact that they've turned around and said, "Look, Hibs is the only club that we're going to give the full stand to because we want to make sure that it's still a spectacle for TV." They're totally contradicting themselves. So it's just Hearts being Hearts, and they're a scummy club. It's one of the worst away to go to. They've killed what was a good away day. But it's a crap ground to go to. It's a crap ground to go to. When you've got to go through that under the train line, and then you've all crammed in. And every time that we go to Hearts away, there's always issues trying to get in through the turnstiles. Too many police, too many searches, and it's complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. But then that's the way that Scottish football is going. Scottish football, they're trying to turn it into something that's not. They're trying to make it some spectacle for television, and they're killing it. That's ruining it. And for a fan experience, they're now killing the fan day experience by having less away fans. The whole part of football was having the away fans and being able to wind up the away fans. Do you know what I mean? It's especially at Celtic Park, being able to wind up the away fans, and then when you're away from Celtic Park and you're on other ground, it's being able to wind up the home fans, and they're just killing the game. It is killing the game. So that's my thoughts on it, John. I think it's rank, absolutely rank. Alex Day must stay. And the Thundertaker must stay. The Thundertaker. Kaiser says Forrest deployed as a striker. Kyogo, nah, not at all. Kyogo's better. Forrest is better coming off the wing and scoring. How many goals has Forrest scored coming off the wing and then scoring for the edge of the box? Stuart Carey says 2-0. We don't look like scoring 4 or 5 yet games. I would agree with you there, Stuart. I would agree. I would say that we don't look like, although we have chances. When you look at the chance, we're not even getting that many chances on target. We need to start getting chances on target. So once we start getting our chances on target, we might start scoring goals. And then, it's usually about December time. Usually in December, you get a crazy 7-0 or something at Celtic Park. Your man says, it would be nice to see Segrist and have Michael Johnson have a chance. And then a straight red 3-game suspension. Segrist is that far out of the picture. There's something going on in the background. I read something the other day about the fact that he's not pulling his weight. He's happy and content at being back up. He's basically just taking the money and not even trying. But it's obvious that he wants out of the club at some point. Well, we'll have no hands on Snide tonight, but soup takers, Keevens and Wilson. There was no zombies. I wonder why. But they're not complaining about their club. Anyway, we'll be opening an Oriental takeaway around the stadium soon. Yeah, yep. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Noodle bar. Noodle bar would be good. Let's face it, it'd be an upgrade. I can remember when Domino's first came into Celtic Park and the Domino's pizza was not a bad size. And then they started selling you this stupid little thing that they call a pizza. And it's like, what? And I tell you one thing, these here are for Club Celtic Lounge. So that's season 2017-18, that's season 2018-2019. Now, when I first, and I think it was 16 was the first season. No, there's loads of them. All you get in Club Celtic is sandwiches and cakes. You've got to buy your own beer, and you pay about £2,000. It was £2,000 when I left. £2,000 a seat. Absolutely ridiculous what they charge for that seat now. And they don't even give you a free drink. Give you some sandwiches, some rolls, and some pies, and that's it. Anyway, good shout for Forrest. Says Martin Stewart. Are you drinking Fanta on a Friday? Has to be changed. There's a Fanta lemon and a beer, Heineken. But we'll try this. Try a Heineken. Don't know. All right. We nipped out for dinner while you were all on Snide FM. Terry Wilson, welcome to the channel, Terry. Get you up here. Palmer and Bernardo will be stars. Yang and Lagerelke should never see Celtic shut again. That's interesting, Terry. Do you not think that Gustav will come onto a game, or you're not much against them? You'll be buying one of the Lager Gustav t-shirts then. Stuart Ramsey says, again, I've changed. I've not. No, there's a beer. See? Give Matt O'Reilly a rest. Does Matt O'Reilly really need a rest? Does he really need a rest? He's a young player, and you want to use that enthusiasm for young players. Young players can play. If anybody's going to get a rest, I would say that it's probably Callum McGregor, but it's not a game to rest for Callum McGregor. I think we've got enough of our players from the Far East. Need first team ready players. Yes, I've said that as well. Would you drop Taylor and Hatati? Would you drop Taylor and give the South American a try? No, because I think that the Scotland manager was at the game the other night to look at Taylor, because I think Taylor's actually upped his game a bit again. And people say that he's inconsistent and whatever, but Taylor gives his all, and this is the kind of. I mean, Taylor was at Kilmarnock, so you're wanting he's got a little bit of a grudge match. So for that on its own, just having that want to make sure that we get the 3 points tomorrow, I would keep Taylor on. I would drop Hatate for Paolo Bernardo, and then bring Hatate on in the 65th minute. Something they say is they're going to park the bus, get O and Kyogo on. The big lad's just tourists, unless we get him in minutes and goals needed. He needs more than 4 minutes. Yeah, he does. I don't know if is O going to be a real top class Celtic striker. Do you know when you think of the Odson Edward, the Eddies in the game? Do you know even the Lee Griffiths? Is he going to be as good as Lee Griffiths? I don't think so. Um, he's going to be one of these players that might stick around for Celtic for a few years and then go back to his home country. Can you see him getting any better as a striker? No, I don't think so either. Midfield: Bernardo, Ohm, O'Reilly. Out wide: Palmer, Mike, Kyogo through the middle. Palmer and Taylor building up a good partnership. I would agree with that, Michael. Yeah, I would pretty much agree with that. The defence picks itself. And with the injuries at the back. I think Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to come on. Cameron Carter-Vickers is going to want to make up for that mistake the other evening. And you've got to remember, Cameron Carter-Vickers, he knows what everything's about. He knows how we play. We need to get people that have been there and done it over the past couple of years and get that little bit of continuity back in the team. And that's what's been missing through the last. I mean, we're only 7 games into the season. So it's 8 games, we're 7 games. We need that continuity that we've had over a good Joe Venglos saying continuity. We need that in the team. Hatate's passing is awful, says Graham. He kills your quick attack mode, and that puts us under pressure. I think it's the fact that Hatate's had too many passes where he's turned around and he passes the ball and he tries to go through the middle and there's no one there. Maybe because he's expecting Kyogo to be playing off the back of the striker, but then Kyogo's come into the midfield bit to do a sort of a run. O'Reilly finally breaking out and showing himself. Keep him in. He's one of the best lately. Yep, says Bob the Minecraft. Take my shoes off. Yeah, I think O'Reilly in a game. It was interesting when we look back at the beginning of the season and Matt O'Reilly come out and said in the press that he was really enjoying his football again. He was enjoying the way that the manager had him playing, and it was all rosy. And he wanted to sign the deal before it was even offered to him. He wanted to sign a new deal before it was offered to him. So yeah. Martin Rooney says speculate to accumulate for the Champions League. Yeah, we do. We've not had that one. What's going on with Marco? Helen says 2-1. Celtic start panel for Rio. Smell the glove. I don't think Tilo really exists. He's he's an extra from Neighbours that got lost. He was spotted. If you go onto the Celtic website, celticfc.com, and you'll see pictures from training today, and you see that Marco is actually in the pictures. He looks a bit lost, to be honest, in the picture. 5-0, get it on the bookies, says Martin. Matt Haley says he's got his team up. Mark says Hart, Taylor, Johnston, Scales, and Laga Gustav. Really? Interesting one. Calmac, O'Reilly, Palmer, Maida, O, and Kyogo. Subs. Hey guys, from the Celtic end. It's definitely no guy. Oh my goodness. The safe word skid says Gareth. Um, Clemente would be better. Yep. I've got a bad feeling Tilo is going to be the Aussie Mickey Johnston. Mark my words, Alex McLeish is the next Sevco manager. Are you hearing things in and around Sevco land, Kaiser? Are you hearing things in Ibrox? Are you really hearing that coming from that neck of the woods? Let's go out and put on a show and start a show that we're getting a double. Says Chris. Celtic needs to put on a show. So, do they really need to put on? I think it's not a case of putting on a show. I think it's making sure they're just winning comfortably. Um, win ugly tomorrow as far as I'm concerned. Just win and get a bit of revenge on Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock are way down the league. Let's get the SPFL up. Table. When you look at the table, we are obviously top of the league. 7 played. We've got 19 points. St Mirren are on 15 points. Played the same amount of games. The Sevco Rangers are on 12 points. I'm fully expecting them to drop points tomorrow. And that would see Heart and Midlothian, if they win. Um, who did Hearts play? Oh, Hearts Hibs. Interesting. That's an interesting one. That's a bit of a grudge match. Hearts Hibs. Hibs win. Hibs go above Hearts. That is at Tynecastle, and let's face it, Hibs at Tynecastle have been absolutely rank rotten. So I'll take it as of tomorrow, Hearts will leapfrog Rangers and then go into third. Who's Motherwell got squad? Motherwell view open. Motherwell, Livingston. Away to Livingston. That's interesting. Livingston are 10th in the league. You're going to take a Motherwell win for that, wouldn't you? Take a Motherwell win for that one, and then that would also put tomorrow afternoon. You could actually see Rangers sitting about fifth in the league. You would see them sitting fifth in the league. That would be fantastic. That would be absolutely fantastic. Right, let's get back to the comments. Doesn't matter what manager they're ahead of the team that's going to be it. Hope O doesn't play. He's hopeless. I would rather see McCarthy play up front. Says Stuart. Cutting their nose off to spite their faces. Yes, exactly. The Hearts are just absolutely that's a nonsense. No 3 p.m. kickoffs on TV, which makes me so off. If you've got a Fire Stick, get a Fire Stick, Mark, and you can watch all the 3 o'clock kickoffs that you want. Hey, the Hunskilper has come on their team. Hart, Alistair Johnson, Phillips, Scales, Owata, O'Reilly, Bernardo, Palmer, Kyogo, and Maida. So it looks like you're going to drop Rio, and that's a team that I would probably go with as well. But I just can't see him dropping Rio Tati for some reason. I don't know. I can't really see it, which is disappointing. I think that Rio needs it drop to the bench and then come on at the 60th minute just to give him that little boost for him to come on and say, right, I'm Rio Hitati. This is what I want Rio Hitati to do. I want Rio Hitati to come on at the pitch and go, right, hold my pint, boys. I'm going to show you who's going to own this midfield, and then make him undroppable. I want Rio Hitati to get back to the player that is undroppable, completely undroppable. But right now, he's not in my eyes. Right. Declan says, great for Scales to get an Irish shot. Yep. Games, hope the Clown Kenny don't get him injured. Oh, I know. I know. That would just be the worst. Maybe Owen will get some time on the pitch. I hope so. Hope so. Let's all laugh at Sevco. He knows where to go with Keel dropping deep. You're talking still about James Forrest. Yes. It does know the way to go. Keel will drop a little bit deeper. Golden age, boys, golden age, says Martin. It's been a golden age since 2012. I'm not even, Kaiser, I'm not even going to say that one. Sky will eventually pull the plug on these rats and kill our game due to our success. They're killing the game due to our success. They are killing the game due to our success, but I think, see, when you look at Motherwell, it'd be interesting to see what the numbers that Motherwell got for that pay-per-view. Because if Celtic can get, you know, I mean, let's do the maths, right? What would you pay for a game? Or you're going to pay 15, right? Oh, no. Let me just see. So you have 38, 500,000. That's impressive. Celtic could make make way more money going down the pay-per-view route of £15 a game. Would you pay £15 a game to watch it at home? Probably not. Would you pay £30 a month to get every single Celtic game? How much is Celtic TV? Does anyone subscribe to Celtic TV? How much is it? How much do they charge for it? It'd be interesting to know what they charge. When we look at the Motherwell game was £15, right? So if you were to pay £15 a game, that is a bit extreme, but it's the way that we're going. Maybe Celtic could drop that. Celtic could make over 200 million easily a year just by doing their own TV deal, selling that around the world. Now you would have to make it. The only thing is with that, it's only Celtic fans that are watching it. Would you get other teams then? Would other fans of other teams buy that package? How many Celtic fans bought the Motherwell package to watch the Motherwell game? How many Celtic fans, I wonder, paid the £15 for that? You know, was it a couple of thousand or was it none? Was it none? Uh, Kaiser says that he's reckoned that Benji did something on Brendan's breakfast. Stuart Collins says we need to put pressure on us after the crisis in Cyprus. Celtic Joseph says Celtic should refuse tickets as no safety. You get into that ground causing crushing fans. I think when you look at Joseph, when you look at Tynecastle now, Celtic fans will be going in for one end and they'll get that tiny little corner bit of the ground. So safety wise, it'll be easier getting into the ground, but it's a nonsense. And your bad days. Jeffrey says, "Good evening, Terry Walsh. Where was the one defender at the second goal? Right." Kaiser says, "Baz, you're a legend." Belson content online. Real fans, yes, it's just so refreshed. I've got to put that one up just for the banner. Yeah, it's just real fans, and it's no, it's look. There's a lot of professional YouTubers. Well, not even YouTubers. There's a lot of professional guys out there doing YouTube channels that want to be in the media. You're not going to get that on this channel, and I make no apologies for the fact that it's not a professional channel. It's YouTube, for goodness. It's YouTube. Jelly and ice cream was my favourite. Baz macaroni pies were dynamite. The macaroni pies, they were all right. They were all right, but I don't know. It wasn't worth. It was good to have a nice comfy seat, and you got a good view of the game. And I don't regret paying the money that I did for all these. But yeah, it's good times. Good times. Terry was right. Terry, Terry. I would play Scales at left back, says Kaiser. Lorna says, Baz, I can't keep up with you. How you've done it before. I wasn't expecting this live. Good evening, all. I did say on the other live that we're going to go. I'm going to put going forward. There's going to be a few changes again to the channel, and there's going to be yeah. I'll just do the announcement just now. Bugger it. If you go into the description on any video, you'll see that there's another channel. Watch along with Baz. As of next week, I'm going to be starting that channel up. I'm going to do more watch alongs on that channel. This one is all going to be about Celtic, but this one is going to be about more European football, and we're going to do some European football watch alongs, and hopefully to try and pick out some players that Celtic might be able to pick up during the summer. And then, because we all talk about if we can try and find good European players, but if you don't watch the games, you're not going to find out who these players are. So going ahead this week, there will be an announcement with what time the lives will be every evening. We'll probably go live before Super Snide, so that'll be around about 5:15 Celtic Park time, and we'll do a 45-minute stint then, and then there'll be either a live or a watch along straight after that, and that'll be on the other channel. I don't want to do them on this channel because then you'll get people drop them off like flies purely for the fact that it's Celtic channel and they don't be watching European games. So yeah, that's exciting times going ahead. But there will be a proper schedule of when we go live, and then there'll be the update videos in the morning. Both been excellent, Jeff. So yes, Lorna. So everything will calm down now that we've got everything settled. Everything will get back to normal. Laughing at the Hun says, "Evening, Baz. How do you manage to keep up with yes, all that bevy? I don't drink a lot. This is the thing. I don't drink a lot. I maybe have one beer during a live, and I definitely don't drink during the week as much. and plus it's cheapest chips are here. Plus, I'm having a Fanta lemon. Anyway, Ibrox is now a donkey sanctuary. Ibrox is the donkey. On Wednesday, I thought we were the better team, and then the punch. And yes, right, John. Do you not think it was a bit of karma on Wednesday? How many late goals have Celtic scored in the league? How many times have teams thought they're going to take something from Celtic in the league? And it had to happen at some point. It's hard to take. Now we know how other teams feel. Now we know how other supporters feel when we do it to them. And let's face it, Celtic have had a reputation of doing it for as long as I've watched Celtic. We've always scored late goals. So it was a hard one to take. It was a really hard one to take, but we take it on the chin and we move on. We move on, and it should make the players want to try and push that a little bit harder. If you ask me, it'll make them want to prove that they should be at that level. Kevin says we need a big player in the box that we can score goals with the head. A chance. Yeah, Kevin, we never score enough from corners or anything now. You know, I thought a lot of people are still going on about the Grumpy Greek and how the Grumpy Greek is now doing quite well in America and everything. And we never brought in anyone. We don't play two strikers up front. This is the problem Celtic have. It's okay saying that we've all got fantastic memories of playing two strikers up front, right? We've all got fantastic memories of Sutton and Hartson, Pierre Van Hooydonk and Cadet. You know, we've got these memories of two amazing strikers up front, and we've never played two strikers up front for a lot of years now, and I think it frustrates a lot of fans. It frustrates because let's face it, 4-4-2 is the Celtic way. This modern football era nonsense of playing diamond in the middle, a diamond in the middle, four at the back, and then Ange comes along and comes up with Ange ball, and he gets the two fullbacks to become inverted fullbacks so that your midfield players can push up, so that make sure that your wingers go right out to the side. Bring back the day where you had Jackie McNamara and Simon Donnelly on the wing, right? You had those two against the touchline. They never came inside. Jackie McNamara and Simon Donnelly were immense together and on the wing. You know, one would overlap the other, and it was fantastic to watch. But we had two strikers. We had two strikers. We don't play like that anymore. And unfortunately, it's due to the modern game and the tactics and everything. We're not going to go back to that anytime soon, which I think's disappointing for Celtic, because Celtic has always been a team that entertains, and with the amount of goals that we could score, especially with the wingers and that we've got now, and some of the balls that Matt O'Reilly can put into the box now. You know, I think we will score a lot more. Teal goes on a hat trick tomorrow. I agree on Oma's start, says Joseph. Kaiser says he's got that in the tank. I don't know why Taylor gets such bad press. I don't know either. Mark says Big Lag is just start. Go 5 minutes. Mark, is Teal available for tomorrow? I have no idea. I would say it was. He was training. He was spotted training at Celtic Park. There was Celtic put out a picture of him training. Maybe that gives us a little header. And one person that wasn't in any of the pictures from the training was Benji Siegrist. Benji Siegrist wasn't in any pictures. So was it? Does the manager vet the pictures before they go to the website? Does he say, right, get a picture of him and just it'll give the fans a little hint that he's going to be on the bench tomorrow? Maybe Yang will get dropped off the bench. You never know. You never know. Give the squad over Riley's the week is okay for Scottish football. So Stephen Taylor is a figment of our imaginations. Lol. Oaken scoring a barrel. I'm saying that one live. I think Kyogo will want to put a bit of a show on tomorrow, says Martin. I think so. So Scales hasn't put a foot wrong, so I'm so glad we kept exactly, John. I think the Scales has been one of, and I did call it. I said, don't be surprised if we get to the end of the season and your partnership at the back is Scales and Carter Vickers. When it's Scales and Carter Vickers at the back, I think we're going to go on a fantastic run. I definitely think the next Rangers manager is him for Aldi. Announce Martindale. Can you imagine if they announced Martindale? Must win for tomorrow for St. Mirren, take points off the Rotten Mob. Lampard's odds on for the next Sevco manager. Surely not. Not when they've got Clement. Clement's an orange, isn't it? Better than it's better than a tan. It's still games. The titles. Fifth sounds good for Sevco. Music to my ears. Aberdeen Christmas. Let's get some McInnes McInnes knocked them back. Rangers are still out. Why would McInnes leave Kelly? No idea. I'm going to jump through a lot of the comments to catch up. Right, let's just jump forward. Celtic defender in corner is mine. Looking good for 2024. Scales is a 10 million man. Is he a 10 million man? 6 million, maybe. He's going to be the best 500 grand that we've spent since Henrik Larsson. That's for definite. He's going to be the best 500 grand that we have spent since Henrik Larsson. That's a statement and a half to make. I know it's definitely a statement and a half to make, but I definitely think that he's going to be well. He already is some player, and I think getting that call up to Ireland will make him an even better player. The song says it. Sent in the clowns for that lot. This is true. This is true. So, Sevco are in talks with Felipe Clement over the next Rangers job. Celtic, my team that I'm going to go for is Hart, Taylor, Scales, Carter Vickers, Johnston, McGregor. I think Hatate will play, even though I don't think he should. I think Hatate will start. Um, You never know, though. You never know. I think there could be a surprise tomorrow. You might get Marco on the bench, might even get him starting. But then I would start with Palmer, O'Reilly, and Maida and Kyogo. I think the only question mark over the team tomorrow, and it's not even going to be a question mark because he's going to play his strongest players. He has to play his strongest, what he thinks is his strongest team. Two returns, potential first league start ahead of the game tomorrow. I think when you see the pictures, when you see the pictures and Marco has been pictured, Joe Hart is eligible again for the game tomorrow, so he is eligible. Um, Gustav and Odin, they'll be back in the squad. Liam Scales is in. Palmer could make his first ever league start for the club. He scored off the bench. He scored off the bench, but it all comes down to where's Marco fitting in? Where's Marco fitting in? That's a big one. Don't know. Where is Marco? That is the question. Where is Marco? Jimmy Clements. Turnbull or Bernardo will start over Rio. I don't think so. I think Brendan will go what he thinks is his best team. And Rio has just signed a 5-year deal. He'll see Rio as a player that is when he's at the top of his game. And he'll hope that tomorrow is maybe that game where he gets him back into some kind of form. If not, he'll be brought off in the 65th minute, and then Bernardo will get his chance then. Reel off big time and try the Huffy home. He's not Huffy home. He's not Huffy home at all. You go with Hart, Alistair Johnson, CCV, Scales, Calmack, Matt O'Reilly, Hatate, Palmer, Maida, Colwell, and you get the last shout of the video. Baz, how are you? Said Fudge Magnet. We didn't deserve to lose that game. No, we didn't deserve to lose that game the other night either. I'm only going to stay on for another 7 minutes. Bo and Kyogo up front. That would be an interesting one, but can they two play together up front? You've seen them play together up front before, and they kind of get in each other's way. It's not a because it's not something that we do in training. When you've seen the two of them on the pitch at the same time, the two of them kind of get in each other's way in the box. And they don't know what runs to make. It looks quite awkward. Carmack should be given a rest. And Hatate says Martin. Martin Rooney says maybe Sevco will make a daft Hall of Farmer. Daft the ambassador, the Hall of Farmer. Uh, no. Right, I'm calling it a night. What time is it? Yeah, because it's 10:30 here. It's 10:30 here. I am calling it a night. You will put up look out for the community tab. Right, I've decided I'm getting pissed tonight. Go on yourself, Stuart. At least you're not doing it in the car park. Right, I'm gonna put out, oh, you've been bitten. I am gonna put out the announcement for the times of the videos and the new channel. If you haven't subscribed to the new channel, make sure that you do, and we'll do some watch alongs. Probably the first ones will be there's no and there'll probably be some international games just to get the channel up and run. Anyway, hail, hail troops, have a fantastic evening, and I'll see you on tomorrow morning's video. And then I might do a video just when the teams are released tomorrow. We'll see. I'm not quite sure where I'm going to be watching that yet. What is the channel called? Wait a minute, and I'll get it for you. If you go on to, let me see, video. What's wrong with Baz? There it's there. Copy, crop that there, put it in there. That's the channel there. Football watch along. Baz Football Watch Along. So that's the channel we're going to be doing, and we'll probably talk about more non-Celtic stuff on that channel also. We can also have a blather and slag off the Sevco. Stuart, hail, hail to the fellow Sevs. Hello, hail, hail, says Cammy. You're just leaving, Cammy, sorry. Jeffrey, got it. Perfect. Right. On that note, have a fantastic evening. Go out, have a few beers. If you're going to the game tomorrow, make sure you enjoy the game. Tag me on on Twitter for anything that happens that's actually around. The link doesn't work, mate. Right, wait a minute. I need to take the at out. Uh, oh, yeah, it does. Like that. What happened there? Did I change the name of the channel? 2 seconds. Switch account. There. Switch account. Ah, there. I did change the name of the channel. Right, 2 seconds, and I'll get you the channel dashboard. There. And I'll copy that. Copy. There we go. Yeah. Why is that not working then? Right, put this up. There we go. Try that one. See if that works. The link is broken, you know. And I'll just jump into live. Just make sure. Click on the live. And boom. Yeah, there you go. Working. That's it working now. Right. That's good. It should be back. Tune. Hope I was there laughing, looking down on the Rangers. Right. Have a great evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow. So have a fantastic evening, Celtic fans.